And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 318, and I'm joined by not one, but two very special guests here. We are joined by Social Influence. We got Ken Powers, TKO. What's going on, gentlemen? Good evening.
What's going on?
How you doing?
We're here. Excited to talk about this weekend.
Definitely. We have a lot to discuss here as we're getting close. We're 5 days away from Savage Intentions. A lot to discuss. But we've had Ken before on the show, so welcome back, Ken. TKO, this is your first time here, so I have to ask you the question I ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
Craft. It just means something you're passionate about, because not everybody is gonna agree with you on what you want to do and where you want to take yourself in the future. So, the only person that knows is yourself and what you want. And I love pro wrestling, so I get what I want in pro wrestling, and that's gold. And that's exactly what's going to happen this Saturday. We're going to get more gold because this is our craft and we love what we do. So,
gotcha. No, definitely. We are going to be discussing that in just a little bit, because I'm glad you guys joined me here. I know last week I did have the TCW Tag Team Champions on. They decided to say some things, so I decided, you know what, let's
happen. They was yapping. I was in the chat. I saw them try to cause friction between me and Ken. It's okay.
They know how to play mind games. This is why I guess they have been the TCW Tag Team Champions for close to a year now. They know how to get into the game. They know how to get into mindsets. But like I told them, they also seem like they have some friction going on. So there is that. We saw it even here on the podcast. So yeah. But when it comes to that, though, you two have been on a tear as of late. Unfortunately, when it comes to singles competition, maybe not as much in Titan, unfortunately, due to certain semantics. I'm again just stating what's there. No offense by it. No, not trying to say anything. My apologies.
I mean, I can't argue with that logic. Unfortunately, my last singles outing was not as successful as we had hoped. However, not to take away from TKO, it's been a little while since he had a singles match, but correct me if I'm wrong, the last one you had, you won.
I did win because I am a winner, and that's what winners do. And I don't cheat, unlike the Deadly Sins. Deadly Sins, they seem to, yes, they get the job done. Good for you. We've gotten the job done plenty of times, but we do it mainly the right way, and they don't. Not so much. But yet they want to stick into our face that they beat us multiple times, but I haven't seen a very clean or fair outcome. It's always due to some shenanigans. There's always shenanigans with the Deadly Sins. And this Saturday, there's going to be no shenanigans. It's just going to be us winning the tag team championships.
Again, that now we have to bring it up, because why not again get right to it here, because it is for those TCW tag team championships. But as you mentioned, this isn't the first time you two teams square off here. And with that being said, a caveat has been added to make this just the stakes even higher here. Not only is it for those TCW tag team titles, it is also for, if you are not victorious, you two will be forced to disband in TCW forever. So just the stakes getting even higher here with everything that has gone on between social influence, between the deadly sins here. I was there the last time you two teams squared off. It was devastation and destruction. We saw where it looked like you guys had those championships right there, right at your grasp. And of course, the deadly sins do things their way, even getting, unfortunately, Samira involved. We almost saw Samira get taken out by a steel chair on that night. Um, yeah, we're going into Saturday. Your guys' mindset's going in there for Savage Intentions.
You know, we've done the dance so many times with the Deadly Sins, but on top of that, TKO and I have done this dance so many times before. Let's not act like this is our first time having to deal with dire straits, our first time having some real adversity. But notice the fact that through everything we've been through in over 2 years as a tag team, social influence is still here. It doesn't matter what gets put in front of us. Every single obstacle we have overcome. We are multiple time tag team champions throughout the entire Northeast. And Saturday, they want to put this little extra flair on there. Oh, they want us to disband if we lose. If is the proper important word right there.
Big if.
It's a big if. Because when the cards are down, when everything's on the table, when social influence has to go all in to capture those TCW tag titles, there's not going to be a single thing that stops us. And I can guarantee that.
And also, when I was watching last week, I don't know if you're going to bring this up, but I'm just going to bring it up now. They called me the Marty Jannetty of the tag team.
Yeah, that was. I don't want to. Yeah, that's yeah.
That bothered me. You want to know why? Because they're trying to make me sound less than Ken. Now, Ken has gone on by himself. He's done all this. He won singles gold. He was the longest and still is the longest reigning champion in Titan history for that Mob 5 TV American Championship. And who was by his side the whole time? Who was by his side?
That would be one TKO.
And I was by his side the whole time. I had his back. We got the job done plenty of times, especially on you, old Bloxy pal. We got you. We got you. Don't ever forget that, by the way. And unfortunately that ended, but that's what led us to the road of getting these tag team titles. We decided to change our focus and really dig down deep to get these tag team titles. And this Saturday is our last chance at getting them. And so, because it's our last chance, they're really trying to cause friction between us, which I'm not a fan of, because there is friction within their own group. So they're trying to cause chaos to get in our heads. You mentioned the mind games. There's no mind games. You want to know why? Because this is it. This is our last opportunity. At first, it was told to us that, hey, if you don't win, you won't get another shot at the tag team titles, which was fine. But I don't know who talked to management and changed that up a little bit to where now, not only do we not get a chance ever again at the tag team titles, we also can never team together ever again at Titan. We have gold already. We're going to be a team no matter what. But they're going to break us up at Titan if we lose this match. That's not happening one bit. And I have something to prove in this match. I'm not no Marty Jannetty. Me and Ken, we're like this. or like this. See this? See this? See this? Deadly Sins don't have that. They don't have this bond. They don't have this bond. When we do this, that means we're together, no matter what. That's my brother.
Mhm.
No, I gotcha. Again, I know this is, like I said, they like to play those mind games. They're trying to put on this facade that everything is okay in their camp. Again, just from my point of view, like I even told them, the Deadly Sins at one point could be argued one of the most deadliest factions in Titan Championship Wrestling, and we are down to 2. With the social influence, it's been U3 and it has remained U3. There's been no losses, there's been no gain so far, but everything seems very okay there with social influence. So again, we shall see. We shall see what happens this Saturday. If you guys haven't already, make sure you get your tickets and be there as we make our return to the Hoboken Elks Lodge there this Saturday night, October the 12th. And remember, it is a Halloween horror night, so you never know what could happen. The spooky season arrives in TCW. And what's going on? We got Wes and Kyle in the chat. Much love. There you go.
Whoa.
You guys some good luck there. There you go. There you go. What's going on? We got my good brother Kenny in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? Kenny as well from the Knucklehead Network. Shout out to, we had Samira on recently on the Knucklehead Network, so that was a fun time. She enjoyed herself. I would hope. She's still not too fond of me for situations out of my hands.
Yeah, what happened?
Gee, I wonder why Samira could possibly have a problem with you, Ray. It's not like your friend and mentor has assaulted her in recent times, literally trying to choke the life out of her in front of a live audience, and you sat there. No. It couldn't be that.
Like I told her, I was just doing my job. But this is why Titan brings me in. I'm a broadcast journalist. What was I going to do in the situation? There was nothing that it was out of my hands. Like I told her.
Lucky that I came out with a steel chair, swinging at him. I should have swung it on you. But
I'm a broadcaster. How does that help the situation?
Why? Hey, the last time a broadcaster got involved, now Harry's managing Jack Martin's. I'm just saying, like, what's gonna happen next? You gonna pop up and be part of the
No. I would like to stay in my commentary desk. I've seen what you guys done to fellow broadcasters of mine, so I'm good. I'm just gonna stay in the I'm gonna stay in my desk, just calling the action. I'll be calling the tag title match this Saturday. That's all I'm gonna be doing. No involvement from me. Okay. My hands are clean. So
we could respect that.
Because we can also discuss, because I know there's another reason she might have not been too fond of me. Because when there are more members, when it's the full Genesis family, if you will.
Shout out.
I'm not too fond of one of the newest members. Someone I knew very well and someone I thought I was very close with. One Game Breaker, Big Game Leroy, yeah. So not too fond of his decision making as of late.
But that's your bestie. You're supposed to you literally support Gangone, right? After what he did. Okay. He is a sick individual compared to Leroy. Leroy, he is trying to change the game. No pun intended. He is trying to change the game. So he's gotta do what he's gotta do. And that's align himself with OGs like me and Ken, because we know what's best for Leroy. Some other people might not, but that's okay. Might not see eye to eye, but you'll get the bigger picture very soon when we all change the game together. Genesis come back very soon, and we got Leroy's back no matter what.
Okay. Again, I don't want to.
I'm not sorry.
Of course.
Oh yeah. You don't want to get involved, Ray. You can support Gangone assaulting women, but Leroy wanting better for himself is where you draw the line.
I never said I agree. I never said I agreed with what again my mentor did. I even said it on social media. I didn't agree with what he did, but then she retweets throwing flowers at him that he tried to give her kindly. So eye for an eye situation?
Yeah, kindly at first until he
just say it all started somewhere. Just say. But I'm not antagonizing the talent here. We're having a nice discussion.
I'm glad to see HR is at least doing their job. Like, thank you, HR.
Appreciate you, Marlon.
You know,
He's not been too fond of this podcast as of late. I'm not antagonizing talent. We're having a nice discussion. Everything is just being put on the table. Is that wrong here?
Yeah, I mean, this is respect the craft. We gotta talk about the hard issues. We can't just, I don't want softball things. We have to talk about the fact that you are okay with a man assaulting women, but not with another man thinking better for himself.
Wait. Let's not say that on the air. I am not okay with what Dr. Sleep did. I'm just saying, was he provoked? However, is another thing.
So a woman rejecting a man means that man can assault a woman? Ray, like, my friend, there's a shovel in your hands. You can put it down at any time. You're just diggy hole.
It just gets worse every time you rephrase it. That's like, yep, I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's very, very bad situation here. We're gonna go back to the comments. What's going on, Nettie, in the chat? Yeah,
There she is.
Well, TKO.
I didn't think that's completely what I just said just now.
It was so nice at first, and then nope, that's just
Jeanette. It's okay, I get it. You know, like another hater that thinks I'm some Marty Jannetty, but it's all right. It's all good.
Nah, you're no Marty Jannetty. We're not a rocker situation. This is more we're Hall and Nash, essentially. Like, there's no one is better than the other. There are two men who are equally driven to do the things that they need to do in this industry. There is no 1 and 2. It is 1A, 1B on any given night. Either one could go either way.
And we support each other no matter what. Whether I am in singles competition, whether Ken's in singles competition, we're together. Whether it's in Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, all
Island
coast.
There you go. Gotta love that. See, again, the unity, something that maybe, unfortunately, the Deadly Sins need to learn about just a little bit.
We saw it at the last show, at the end of their match. For some reason, they're butting heads, they're pushing each other. I thought damn near they were going to start hitting each other. I thought Blocks was about to start swinging on Frankie. Like,
it did look that way. We saw the push. I feel like we were about to see them square off there till you two got involved, and we saw, unfortunately, the chaos just ensue there between you guys, between the Audacity, between the Deadly Sins there, that it took damn near the whole locker room to separate all 6 of you.
Yeah, it's fun that you mentioned that, because the whole reason, I hate to keep going back to this, but the whole reason why the Samir thing happened, and it took me so long to get out there, was because they jumped me from behind. And I don't know if you could tell, but Blocks at first was a little hesitant about it. I don't think he was agreeing with what old Frankie was doing.
Yeah, it seems he wasn't too fond of the idea. It doesn't seem like he knew it was going to happen. If anything, I guess the correction is, when Blocks attacked you during the entrances of the Mob Fight TV American Championship match.
Please correct yourself. Frankie attacked.
No, so when Frankie's attack there, but I can only imagine that also they knew what they were doing, because that does play the mind games. Now getting to the head of Ken, who was going in there now on a 1-on-2 situation, unfortunately, because Aaron Roxas was around and playing his own mind games, if you will.
And honestly, with the Devout and how they've been acting lately, just because Roxas was the only one visible doesn't mean there's not another factor involved. For all I know, Amity could have been hiding under the ring the entire time.
Possibly.
Like we already knew going into a one-on-one match in this situation that they were going to have their outside factors. So we knew, all right, we're even. TKO can make sure that Roxas doesn't get involved. Samira can keep an eye on Amity. That's fine. And then Frankie has to come in and get involved in business that has absolutely nothing to do with him. We've been dealing with the Devout throughout the summer. That's the third, counting the singles match, that was our third match involving us and the Devout throughout the last 4 months or so. We were dealing with that problem so we could get back on track, and Frankie needed to stick his nose where it didn't belong. So, and as you noticed, later in the night, when we happened to decide enough is enough, we didn't go after Blocks. We went after Frankie. Because I watched the film back. TKO was there. We noticed that Blocks didn't seem like that was the right thing to do. So in our heads, we're like, okay, we'll deal with the problem. But Blocks, I don't know if it's just Stockholm syndrome at this point or just like the familiarity of being with Frankie for so long, decided he needed to step in. And then that's when the locker room cleared out. And don't even get me started on the Audacity, because those two, we've had problems with them going back to April, to the original Danger Zone. But that's not the focus right now. Our focus right now is the TCW tag team titles, righting those wrongs and finally helping bring this tag division back to the prestige it deserves to be in.
Understood there. And again, we've seen it. Again, you guys can catch that when the full replay is available from TCW Presents Guerrilla Warfare. Before we continue, I guess HR giving us the page 65 of the TCW handbook clearly say. What does it say?
There's 65 pages of the handbook.
I did not know there was a handbook to begin with. I probably should be reading that a little bit from a journalistic standpoint.
Yeah,
I want to know what it states.
Can you send that to my email? Like, I'd like to see the handbook. Okay.
The fact that it has more than 65 pages is wild. But okay. What I was gonna now get to though is, again, you've both said it's a big if, but unfortunately, if that if becomes reality this Saturday, then what? What happens if, unfortunately, the Deadly Sins find another way to sneak away your TCW Tag Team Champions? Where do we go from here, gentlemen?
As much as I really don't want to think about that, because I know in my heart of hearts, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that doesn't happen. But even if it does, TKO and I have been saying this since the beginning. I've got his back and he's got mine. If for some reason we're not allowed to tag team anymore, if we have to disband at Titan, we have had so many fantastic opportunities as singles competitors in this company as well. Not only my American Championship run, TKO was on a very solid winning streak as a singles competitor before we even started doing this. So if we're forced to not tag team anymore, who's to say that there's not other gold that Social Influence would be going after? We have a middleweight champion that we still have problems with, and maybe we can solve it there. We've got an American title that definitely belongs on a shoulder that maybe respects the craft a little bit more than the man who's currently holding it. See what I did there? Or maybe, just maybe, it's time for one of us two at that point to really ascend the mountain. Maybe there's a certain Savage in our futures. But that's still a big if we lose. I have no intention of giving up those tag titles come Saturday. I don't care what I have to put my body through, what I have to sacrifice that night. There is no situation where I will allow social influence to end before we capture the Titan tag titles, before that gold is sitting around the waist of two men who respect tag team wrestling more than anybody in Titan does. And I will put that on everyone. Nobody has a bigger respect for the art of tag team wrestling than hashtag social influence.
Yeah, I have to agree. Nobody really cares about the tag teams here because all the focus on is the Deadly Sins. That's the only focus that this tag team division has been on this past year. And it's time for a change. It's time for something new. It's time for something that the people have never seen before. But to go back to your question, for me to answer, if somehow that don't happen, it's going to happen. We're going to win. But if it doesn't, Ken's been a champion before. I have never been a singles champion. I've won 3 tag team championships. 4 will be on Saturday. But I really want singles gold. And, oh, Kenny boy, we do have issues with the Devout. But if you've watched other products that we've been a part of, we're not a big fan of PJ Savage either. So the opportunity presents itself for either I to take down PJ or Ken to take down PJ. We will gladly take that opportunity as well. And we could even do it with the tag team titles. We don't care. Obviously, Frankie don't care. He gets belts everywhere, and he just faced PJ at Seaside. So it's possible. It's possible to get singles gold, whether we're a team or not. And I look forward to whatever happens in the future at Titan Championship Wrestling. So.
Got you. And no, definitely for those that have been keeping up with the social influence, or better yet, shall I say, Genesis, have seen what you two, with many others, have done to one PJ Savage. I was also there to call that very heinous attack that, again, you guys say was justified. I don't know if I can agree, but again, you guys tried to put him through a better yet, a kitchen rack. This is what looked like. Yeah.
It was
all that
in our hand at the very moment. That's what they saw. They brought it in. It got the job done. He barely. He's lucky he had ropes to pull his ass up and say a couple more words. But we left him land. We left a message. That's all that's important.
Well then. Also, it looks like this is, again, talking about that other place as well, that unfortunately I would assume you guys might even have a reason of why it was, unfortunately, the last show was shut down again, because every time it seems a company goes against you, there they go.
Yeah, so hide your promotions, because Genesis is for you.
Like, because one of the last times they also put this stipulation on for you of a disbandment, and then that never goes to plan. So it seems this just, everyone is trying to separate you guys, and you come out on top.
They want us to fail, not succeed, and that's unfortunate. But we got heart, we got love, we want everybody to succeed, no matter if we like you or not, because we're all in this together at the end of the day. But there's going to be some friction. There's going to be competition. And you got to do what you got to do. And what they're trying to do is cause tension between us. Because they are not comfortable with themselves and their situation. So they want to make it worse for us to make themselves feel much better. It's unfortunate. It's a real shame.
Definitely is.
Real shame.
Definitely is. But again, it's showing why, because like we said, the success is there. We're looking behind you right there, TKO, currently holding those Kaiji tag team titles right there, and it continues to grow. Like we said, could another championship be added to the other side right there after this Saturday? We shall.
Next interview, whether you just have me on by myself, or you have us both back on, or you have the whole crew on, there will be another belt right there. I'll guarantee you that.
There you go. And we have Aunt Tina in the chat as well. What's going on, Tina? What's going on? Marlon saying a lot of PJ Savage. I don't think it's hate. I wouldn't. Again, why are you antagonizing the guest now, HR? See, I didn't say you guys were hating. See, he came after me saying I was antagonizing. I'm allowing them to have free speech here. That's all I'm doing.
We are saying what's on our mind.
This is what the platform is for.
We respect all the champions, no matter if we like you or not, but we want to be the champions. So we got to make our own opportunity to get those. So that's why we say what we got to say about PJ. It's not hate. It's just he has what we want. That's all.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like too much in this wrestling business, when people like TKO and I come in and we have to make business decisions, we're making decisions that are the best for social influence. We're making decisions that are the best for Genesis. When we make those decisions, people think, oh, because I got caught in the crossfire, this is a personal attack. No, you just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. PJ and I've gone back. One of my first October shows as a wrestler, I got the opportunity to wrestle PJ long before he was Titan heavyweight champion. We went to war with each other. After that night, I have nothing but respect for him. But that level of respect is why we have to do the things that we do and why we say the things we do. We all know what PJ is capable of. So what kind of statement does it send when you take a man who's capable of that and you leave him lying flat on his back? It's just what's best for business.
There you have it.
That's page 1 in the handbook. Do what's best for business.
Yeah, that's page 1, rule 1. Marlon, write that down, please.
Just add that to the book, Marlon. Add that to the book and then forward us via email. We would love to read the rest of the handbook again, just to make sure. I feel like somewhere a page should say journalists should not be managing talent. I'm just saying. It's just a little bit.
Or enter rumbles, or try to get involved in any way that might cause them to get hurt.
Yeah.
I know we were
Or just keep the damage away from the journalists. Like, unfortunately, Samara got. Yeah. Just let's not attack the journalists, please. That should be part of the handbook there, so we can stay safe. We would like to remain doing our job here, and all facets of it. But as we continue here, I do want to ask you guys now this one right here to go back in both of your careers here. Still both very young in your careers, but when it comes to those careers for each of you, what would be a match that you say defines that career so far?
God, that's a good question, because I have two that come to mind for me, and they are polar opposite ends of the spectrum. My first two options, it's literally in my first match and one of my most recent matches. As some people may know who have probably watched the former RTC episode that I was on, my first match as a professional wrestler was against the NWA's own Wrecking Ball Legursky. The fact that I was given the opportunity to walk into this business and go toe-to-toe with a TV level talent out of the gate, and not only to go toe-to-toe with him, I won that match. The fact that I was able to make such a big statement on day one of my career is a big thing to me. And that also, stylistically, that is the kind of match I love doing. Just two big men smacking the hell out of each other until one of them stops moving. That is the kind of wrestling that you get from Ken Powers. And that's the kind of wrestling I love to see in the world every day. So that's the kind of product I want to bring. However, more recently, I had the opportunity to go one-on-one with Dijak. That in and of itself, the fact that there was a company who trusted me enough to go one-on-one with a recently released, probably the hottest free agent coming out of WWE in years, at the very least, that speaks a lot to me. And the fact that I was able to go out there and have a quality match with a man of that caliber just shows that not only was I here, not only am I here to stay, I have so much more to offer this business. And I am ready every single day. I am working and improving myself every day to get better, to show everybody just exactly what Ken Powers can do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for me, two also come to mind. I'll make it short and sweet. 2 years ago, there was this guy named Jack Tomlinson. Now, he's very similar to TKO. He's gone on to do bigger, better things. He's now the leading man of professional wrestling. But when I faced him, he was still the vlogster, Mr. making TikToks and vlogs and all that. You want to know who does that and still does that now? Me. But I have to give him credit because when I wrestled him, that's what lit a fire underneath me. And I don't do as many singles matches as Ken does. Maybe that's why some people have some harsh words for me. But that is one where I felt like I had a lot of fun at. It was at Invictus, by the way. Invictus Summer Wars 2 Augusts ago. If you guys didn't see it, we had a very viral moment. It was very fun. But the second one was against your pal and our Genesis boy, Big Game Leroy. That was one that I've been wanting since I debuted because he was there. He raised my hand even though I didn't get the victory. So that was one where it was very fulfilling to know that I could go toe-to-toe with a former social media champion. And he's been all over the place as well. So the fact that I could step up against Leroy, beat him, and then show him the light and help him move on to better things. It was an honor to wrestle him, and I would happily do it again one day for fun. And yeah, so those two came to mind that really, I think I had to step up and show what I'm about. And I'm going to show the deadly sins this Saturday.
There you go. It all leads to that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets. Be there as we return this Saturday to the Hoboken Elks Lodge. Savage Intentions. It will be for those TCW Tag Team Championships with, again, that caveat, if the social influence are not able to walk away your new TCW Tag Team Champions, they will be forced to disband.
You see how it's like tiny. You see how it's like it's written.
It's very fine print level there, but
squint and look at that. You want to know why? Because they know themselves that shit ain't happening. All right.
Not a chance.
So they don't even want anybody reading that part. That's irrelevant. Okay, it's not happening. All right.
It's we shall see. We shall see. Like I say, I must remain very neutral here and just say what's there. Just say what's there. That is all I'm doing. Yeah. But before we start wrapping this up again, because I don't want to take up too much more time here, gentlemen, because I know, again, you got to get ready for this huge opportunity this Saturday. TKO, I have to ask you the final question, ask everyone that comes on, and that is for you. What is the end goal, brother?
Wow. That's a big one to end off with.
That's exactly how I responded too.
I was gonna say, Ken knows. Ken was like, "Yep, I already went through this one."
Yep.
I think the end goal is very, I think, obvious. You know, I don't know if you do. I have no. They're not all in here. Listen, your number one goal in professional wrestling is to make it. And right now, there's no easier way to make it. I feel like if you really dig down deep and you put yourself out there, there's so many places we can go now. There's so many places I could go. But the end goal, I think, for most people is to go to WWE and main event WrestleMania. That's the end goal. That is the end goal. But to get there, obviously, I got to put the work in. I got to show I'm no Marty Jannetty. I'm not no scrub spider guy. I'm not whatever doubters think of me. I am not that. I am the next big hit. And the reason why I call myself that is because I am looking for that next big moment. My next big moment is this Saturday, but the moment, the end goal is to make it in professional wrestling and become a superstar. So that's my...
That works right there. And again, the future is bright for both of you gentlemen. We have that right there in the chat as well from one Daniel Alexander saying two of the best men I know, talented and bright futures. We got SP saying Ken Powers, the hero America didn't know it needed. Casey Lykin saying finish what we started, guys, beat the sins, become the champs. There you go. So the Titan Nation, they're behind you right there. Even Titan rosters showing their picks for this Saturday. Again, I will remain very unbiased and neutral here, and just we're gonna see what happens this Saturday, gentlemen. But good luck to you both.
Don't gotta tell us, you know.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna, like I said, I want to remain safe at the commentary desk because I've already said too much, and I was glad that we were able to have a very nice and cordial conversation here after some comments I might have made to one Samir. So we're just gonna say that. But before I let you go, I want to remind everyone, if they haven't already, make sure you are following TCW on all of their social media there. That's going to be Titan Championship Wrestling on Instagram, on X at Titan Champions 1. Go get your tickets now for Savage Intentions right there, as well as go follow Social Influence on their social media. Follow Ken Powers right there on Instagram. Follow him on X right there. And also make sure you're following TKO on all of his social media right there. So that way you stay up to date with all things Social Influence and CCW. All the links will be in the description down below. And the Spanish announce table is, don't worry, I'm going to be at the English speaking announce table this Saturday. So stay away from my table. And to everyone watching, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, everybody.
Hey, you got our PayPal, right?